Hi everybody, Dr. Kennedy Veenekamp, formulator and originator of the original SkinnyUp protocol. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about hormonal imbalance and how that affects really how we become slightly allergic to our lifestyles. People that are overweight, in America especially, they're not really fat. And I know that's surprising to hear. It's like, what do you mean they're not fat? They're too big, so obviously they're fat. Actually, we're born with all the fat that we're ever going to have. Each fat cell is there upon us arriving on this earth. What happens is we become slowly but definitely allergic to our lifestyles. And I call that toxicity. You've probably heard that a lot lately, that we are a toxic environment, a toxic country. The bottom line is that toxicity creates bad fat, or what I like to call dirty fat. And when we have that happen, we have issues because people don't realize that our hormones are actually created from the fat in our bodies. Our brains are totally fat. Our brains are made of cholesterol, which is a fat. When we have a toxic lifestyle, we tend to create toxic fat. They couldn't be more right when they say in a Lay's potato chip commercial that, you can't eat just one. Well, there's a reason for that. There's a lot of chemistry involved in creating a Lay's potato chip. Not to pick on Lay's. We're talking Doritos or anything that's toxic in our society. Diet Coke, Dentine gum, all of the things that we eat as Americans. But the bottom line is that creates a very sincere toxicity that the body has to deal with somehow. So it deals with it by, if I can't eliminate it, I'm going to put it into my fat. Most of the fat that it's deposited in is right around the midline, right over our stomach, our intestines, our kidneys, our liver, things that are housed right there. Originally the fat is put there to be a protective mechanism against trauma and to hold the heat in. But the problem is that the body can't figure out what to do with it. So it begins to walk around. It's kind of like a worker, you know what I mean, at a nuclear power plant. It comes over and assesses every morning, okay, how are we doing in there? And it opens up each cell of fat and says, what's our toxicity level today, Bill? We've got issues here. We've got more toxicity from last night's binge over on campus. So we need to go ahead and add some water to this. And that's how we start to expand and start to look bigger and look portly and look fleshy. That's because the body is allergic to our lifestyles. So Bill has to go over there and pour water into each cell, trying to minimize and dilute the toxicity in the fat. That fat is what I call toxic fat or dirty fat. And that's the foundation for this issue of dirty or toxic hormones, okay? People don't realize it, but our hormones run us. Insulin is the mother hormone of the body. If we are creating our hormones from a toxic environment, we do not create a good hormone. That hormone, to the degree that it's toxic, creates to the degree of how sick we're going to feel, how hungry we're going to feel, how many cravings we're going to have. A lot of signs of toxicity are exhaustion. I go to bed exhausted and I wake up exhausted as well. I have little things like mental clarity issues. I have itchiness. I have skin issues. I have all of these things. And so when that starts to happen, we are a product of our hormones, and we are a product of our toxic environment. So when we talk about estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, insulin, we are less than we are supposed to be when we are creating this toxic environment. So the big idea is that leads to a huge hormonal imbalance, and that creates this vicious toxic hormonal cycle. So the more we eat of the toxic stuff, the more we build toxic hormones, the more we feel poorly, the more we seek out poor food choices, poor drink choices, poor lifestyle choices. And that's why we do SkinnyUp. We want to get to the bottom of this. We want to eliminate the cravings. We want to eliminate all of these these hunger issues that are creating issues that make poor decisions in our lives as far as eating. So anyway, I want to thank you for being with me today, and remember, hormonal imbalance is a huge issue, and SkinnyUp's the answer. Thanks, we'll talk to you soon.